Since their presidential pardon, Todd and Julie Chrisley have been sharing their stories of their time behind bars. During a recent podcast appearance, the two shared that they actually had two different experiences while in prison. Fans have also been sharing their reactions to the recent share. Todd and Julie Chrisley were introduced to fans from the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best. In 2022, they were both convicted of a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. Originally, the two were sentenced to a combined 19-year sentence in prison. However, they both received an early release thanks to a pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, the two have also been sharing their story with fans. Taking to Instagram, the Chrisley family promoted the recent return of their podcast series. As the post shared, "This is not a drill, y'all. The unfiltered chaos you asked for is here, and clearly we're still not holding back." Chrisley Confessions 2.0 is live. During the podcast episode, Julie read a question asking Todd if there was anything he enjoyed while in prison. He shared, "I had Chick-fil-A." When Julie tried to interject, Todd shared, "I'm not gonna come on here and lie." Todd then revealed he enjoyed quite a few fast food options while in prison. He shared, "I had Chick-fil-A. I had Burger King. I had pizza. I had Culver's, which, let me just go ahead and tell you, this is not an ad. But Culver's is my jam now. I had Olive Garden once, but I didn't like it." Julie then interjected, noting, "What I ate in prison, which was none of that none. I had not one morsel of outside food for 28 months. Todd then asked if she had made any friends with the staff. Julie said she didn't, but noted that she cooked some foods in prison, even sharing that she'd like to film these recipes for fans. Instead, Todd shared that he had a chef who would make his food. He shared, "I had quesadillas that he would make with an iron with pepperonis and pizza sauce that I had brought in from Walmart." For her part, Julie shared she ate a lot of tuna, noting she didn't really eat it before prison. She also shared eating quesadillas, nachos, and making a pickle wrap. Todd teased he wouldn't eat that. When Julie shared he wouldn't know until he tried, he replied, "I had Culver's." Why would I eat a pickle wrap? On social media, fans shared their own reactions to the discussion. Noting the different experiences Todd and Julie had, some fans even thought Todd could have been a bit more sympathetic towards his wife. Some comments included, "Did you listen to Todd and Julie Chrisley's recent podcast? Make sure you come back to TV shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news." The fluorescent lights overhead were relentless, flickering in a steady, impatient rhythm. Metal clanged, the distant echo of steel gates, the soft but inexorable clang of regime. Todd Chrisley sat behind a narrow rectangle of granite tabletop. Across from him, on the other side of a stainless steel barrier, was Julie. She stood in a taut line marked out by gleaming lines on the floor, sharp edges, rigid boundaries. Inside the small, stark visitation room, time moved in measured increments, the slow drip of a faucet down the corridor, the buzz of fluorescent bulbs, the faint scuff of shoes on linoleum. No words passed between them, none needed to. Todd sat casually, limbs languid, shoulders relaxed, as though this were a sun-dappled veranda rather than a grim institutional chamber. He leaned back, placing one arm against the back of the chair, a chair too small for comfort. The other arm rested easily on the table, fingertips drumming, a rhythmic tattoo of calm confidence. Julie's posture was entirely the opposite. Her back rigid, shoulders squared, hands clenched, fingers white-knuckled around the straps of her purse, or maybe empty fists. She'd come here with expectations, anger buried deep, but now, confronted by the invisible gulf dividing them, she was silent. Todd's eyes glinted with ease. No agitation, no remorse. In his gaze lay the unspoken words, "Look at me, I'm okay." Behind those eyes flickered a soft glow, sheet white walls, and a call button within arm's reach. A private cell? Perhaps, but not like hers. No bars pressed against his chest at night. Instead, a nightlight, plush bedding, whispered attention from guards. He uncrossed his legs with precision. Right over left, then straightened both feet planted. A small mustard stain, found on the cuff of his crisp shirt, spoke of breakfast brought to him just the way he liked it. Not the vague slop of prison cafeteria lines. No. It was plated, warm, arranged, delivered. Julie watched, breath shallow. Maybe she came prepared to gaze at a broken man. Instead, she found someone polished, rested. The corners of his eyes rested in comfort. There was a vitality to him that jarred. Skin not pallid, eyes not dull. In his upright spine, she saw self-possession, not brokenness. The clicking of his watch echoed. A designer piece, sleek, a small luxury. He tapped the watch face, just time. But the gesture carried weight. Someone who mattered, someone with resources. Even here, Julie's jaw worked. She didn't blink. Todd's pen, elegant and black, sat next to him on the table, its cap aligned at a perfect right angle. A symbol of order, refinement. Perhaps he'd written letters today. Letters, not scribbled notes. A luxury in stationery. He removed the watch, placed it deliberately on the table. Hands steady, he clasped them, fingers interlaced. No tension. A small movement to smooth his shirt. Crisp cotton, not prison-issue polyester. His shirt cuff extended just so, revealing a cufflink glinting faintly, silver, perhaps engraved. Julie's breathing betrayed her. Her shoulders sagged fractionally. Acid curled in her stomach. No words passed, but the room was thick with them. I'm being treated differently. You know it. I know it. The barriers formed by steel mesh and glass couldn't stop those silent assaults. Todd's head tilted slightly, as if assessing a fine artwork, or perhaps a servant who just gotten the coffee exactly right. In the tilt lay chilling power. He reached out, almost delicately, to slide his watch forward, then rest his chin lightly atop it, almost teasing. A small smile danced at his lips, half smirk, half sneer, untouched by cruelty, but in the quiet, suffocating heap of privilege. Julie's nails dug into the strap of her purse. She felt the weight of expectations, justice, punishment. But here was a man pampered even inside cages, protected, idolized, respected. Todd's focus flicked to the mirrored wall behind her. A guard's vantage, perhaps. He turned his head slightly, eyes tracking as if looking for an expectant audience. Of course someone saw. Maybe the guard outside, the warden, an unseen spider web of authority, all there to cater to him. He stayed calm, expecting. Personalized blankets, special meals, concierge-like support. Inside prison, residence. Julie wanted to turn away, but couldn't. Her chest tightened. Todd's stillness spoke volumes, that his world had shrunk to a comfortable rectangle, that the system fashioned the rectangle around him, embroidered it. Moment passed. Todd drummed his fingers. Gentle, precise. 1, 2, 3, over and over. A metronome of privilege. His gaze returned to Julie. No malice, just assurance that she saw, that she understood. Her reflection overlapped with his behind the glass. Her silhouette rigid, forefront. His image framed within calm. Two worlds in one room. She blinked and looked away, hoping he wouldn't see. But he did. His eyes followed her gaze as she refocused on the table, on her own hands. He leaned in slightly, the mesh screen a whisper away. The faint movement of his throat showed ease. No bead of sweat, no sign of fatigue. Just the soft fabric of his shirt pressed to his collarbone. A small luxury, protected from the world's coarse scratches. Julie dared a look at his watch again. Brushed metal, expensive. Maybe bought new for prison, she swallowed. Her focus locked on that watch. Tick, tick, tick. Then Todd leaned back again, folded his arms, like a cat settling onto a cushion. He exhaled softly, chest rising in a measured puff. The gesture said, "This is how I rest." A slow inhale revealed that he'd seen guards approaching. He didn't flinch. He just sat poised, comfortable, one step ahead. A guard's shadow flickered in the doorway. Todd didn't move. The guard paused, perhaps nodded. Todd gave a tiny shift of his head, a nod of recognition, but not submission. Assurance that he remained the center, even here. Julie watched the guard. No special treatment here, no glance, no care. Just routine. She felt doubly crushed. On her side, nothing. On his side, layers of privilege. Todd uncrossed and recrossed his legs in a slow ballet. The precise motion, no hurry, an unspoken clock. He placed one hand, palm down, then slid it back, like smoothing invisible silk across the surface. Effortless. Unrushed. Unlike her life, her day, filled with jagged demands, frayed edges. Julie pressed her lips together so hard they hurt. She looked down, breath trapped, and when she raised her eyes, she caught Todd arranging his binder, perhaps a case file, perhaps letters, perhaps receipts. He tapped the leather spine lightly, checking its alignment at a nearly microscopic level. His world ordered, even in limbo. He set the binder aside and reached for his water bottle, metallic, insulated, sweat-free. He twisted the lid and drank. No slurp, just a controlled sip. Then replaced it with a soft click. Clean, precise. Contrast to the clattering plastic cups she held earlier. Julie's vision blurred with frustration. She clasped her palms, fingertips pressing into skin. She swallowed again, mid-meeting of her jaw. Held it. The impotence of silent confrontation burned.